Do you know what the AD in AD Curato stand for? Let's find out.
AD Curato Street is one of the oldest and historic streets of Butuan City. From the first formal raising of the Philippine flag in Mindanao to World War II to even the most important events happening today makes this street one of the most significant places in Butuan.
How do you get around Butuan City? Well, you simply tell the tricycle driver the name of the establishment you need to go. But what if the place isn't that famous? And what if you're not from around here? Well, you of course tell the driver the street of where you want to be.
And because Butuan is a highly urbanized city, around 300 plus square miles, there are a lot of places to get lost in. This is Timber City Streets, the show that gives me wood. Literally.
AD Curato Street was named after a former assemblyman and the first Filipino governor of Agusan back in 1923. Historically, its original name is Juan Luna Street, after the Filipino painter and political activist of the Philippine Revolution. From south to north, AD Curato Street adjoins F. Durano Street, Noli Me Tangere Street, T. Sanchez, and then J.C. Aquino Avenue. The street is a commercial neighborhood in which both residential houses and businesses, government, and educational establishments are found. AD Curato was the city center of Old Butuan. Some old establishments and buildings found along the street dates back in the 1950s, and those that were older were perished by fires and by World War II. The northern side is just filled with a variety of business establishments such as pharmacies, small clothing shops, grocery shops, restaurants, clinics, jewelry and antique shops, bakeries, and eateries. Gingona Park is a historic area which was named after Teofisto Hamora Gingona Sr., the first governor of the undivided Agusan province from 1913 to 1917. According to historical records, the designated governor of Surigao under the Aguinaldo government, Wenceslao Gonzalez, hoisted the Philippine flag in Butuan. From then on, every morning of January 17, the city government of Butuan holds a special commemorative program and reenactment of the event at Gingona Park, the heart of the city. In the past, Gingona Park had a kiosk that looked just like today, and a fountain, however much bigger than we have now, and it had several royal palm trees. Fiesta time at the park during the old days was also full of people like today. However, it was with rondalla bands playing traditional music. And there were giant mannequins, popularly called mga Higante no Tome, after the owner Mano Tome Sanchez, roaming the park to the amusement of the residents who came out after Holy Mass from the old parish church, now known as the St. Joseph Cathedral. When we come back, let's go further south of the historic AD Curato Street. Like the northern part of AD Curato Street, there are some commercial establishments in the south part of the street too. There are several eateries like House of Beef, Barbecue Central, Cafe Central, and Maring's Barbecue. There are mini grocery shops, barber shops, pawn shops, secondhand shops, shops that sell school supplies, and many more. The Department and Budget Management Regional Office, Region 11, Caraga, and the Social Security System government offices are also found along the street. At the south part of AD Curato Street, intersecting J.C. Aquino Avenue, is the Philippine National Police Station 1. It used to be the building of the old provincial capital. It also became the City Hall. The building is said to have escaped total destruction during the bombing by American Liberation Forces during World War II. Across the police station are old photo studios that are still operational since the 1950s.
Dili gid siya mismo ang pinakauna pero siya ang pinaka-existing oldest bali. Kay before ani napay duha sa kuan tong photo art o pole studio. Na-establish ni 1959 sa akong lolo ug lola na kuan diri sa kuan. So diri sila na plaster and then hinay-hinay lambo na kaning na-establish nila tarong na plaster nila ug na kuan gid nila nga ang araw na maintain nila ang quality po sa iyang picture niya. Kani siya nga photo ang pinaka kuan ako kay nakita gid ako kung unsa ang Butuan before ug karon. Nya kita po nato nagsakay gid sila kuan baroto or something kuan speedboat walay makina. Nya ang background niya plaza. Kaya ang plaza ko tununang sa ilang time mo na tabuan. Every Sunday, every kuan kung na sila ibaligya diha sa plaza. Nya once pag mubaha po ang Butuan, kasagari po mubakwit diha sa plaza. Kay pinakaubos man gud ni siya nga level bali. Mao ni siya nga photo ang kuan medyo karaan nya mas guwapo pod og kuan ba ang iyang makita na to ang iyang history. Ang the only lang nabilin is kini 135. Kasagari to nuna magdepende gid sa amoa sa studio or sa photographer kay mas experience man mi. Mo yung kinsa kung ganahan mas prefer dito to nuna. Kaya ang quality sa picture, quality sa kuan nya ang pag nagi art ba kung atong ibutang nagi art. Nuna akong lulog lula nagit sila carpenter. Kung mo sila og mo na yung kuan ay bahay kubo or balay or naipunuan. Himuon gito sa carpenter nga magkuan gid og pintor gid sila. Nabutang gid ana kay so now nimo 1959 pa until now. Gikan pa sa akong lulo og lula yung ani. So makaingon gid ko kuan maka witness gid siya unsay kalambuan ang Butuan.
Two of the major and the oldest public schools in the city are located here on the street: Agusan National High School and Butuan Central Elementary School. Both schools survived the hostilities of World War II and even became enemy war posts until the liberation during the early 1940s. Butuan Central Elementary School, or BCES, was established in 1901 during the American occupation. It was believed that the school was used as a garrison by the Japanese during the occupation in World War II. And then, the Gabaldon-type building of BCES was used as a temporary provincial hospital in 1945, right after World War II. The Japanese occupation was a significant event in Butuan history. It left behind this unusual-looking landmark in the vicinity of the school, a long-forgotten secret of the past. It used to be a fountain that you can find underneath the old school bell. It was reported that a few Japanese people used to visit the fountain regularly, supposedly to pay their respects to the Japanese soldiers who were stationed here in the city during World War II. Hopefully, in the near future, this important landmark can be properly recognized. Meanwhile, Agusan National High School, back when it was still called Agusan High School, started in Cabadbaran way back in 1919. It moved here to Butuan in 1921 and to educate more students, where then it became an extension of Butuan Central Elementary School. It finally separated from Butuan Central Elementary School to become an independent unit in 1927. AHS was then manned by just 6 teachers, including the principal, with an enrollment of around 268 students. I don't think I'd want to be one of those teachers. I mean, I even struggle in teaching one child alone.
Finally, on July 16, 1945, Agusan High School reopened during the early days of the liberation.
In 1955, the Agusan National High School was transferred to the government of Butuan.
Did you know that the provincial jail was then located on this Agusan High School area? This U-shaped Jose C. Aquino School building was where it was built. The jail housed Japanese prisoners right after World War II.
Now stands today is a different kind of prison. Just kidding. Stay in school, kids, and don't cut classes. After the commercial break, we'll discover memories of Old Butuan as we finish walking along AD Curato Street.
According to this historic photo of an aerial view of Butuan City, there are 3 major landmarks that you can clearly see. The first one would be the grandstand, which be around here.
Between Agusan National High School and Butuan City Gymnasium was the city grandstand.
Now, the grandstand was the venue for sporting events. However, during a basketball game in one of the Mindanao meets in the 1960s, the grandstand collapsed. The story was that the home team had just won a really tough game, and the people celebrated so hard, the whole thing fell down on them.
Next to it is the Butuan City Gymnasium, and behind them is the BCES ANHS track field or playground.
The Butuan City Gymnasium was once located between Butuan Central and Agusan High, around this corner. It was the go-to venue for concerts, huge speaking engagements, alumni parties, pageants, and indoor sports competitions, and other massive, huge crowd-gathering events. Unfortunately, however, it burned down in 2006 due to faulty wiring. But don't be sad, because in its place stands the special education classrooms of BCES.
The huge ANHS track field or city playground was the venue for what else? Sports. Notably, it was where ANHS students have their Citizen Army training, or CAT in short.
Today, classrooms for the senior high school stands on what was the former track and field. Quick trivia, did you know that the oldest banking institution in Butuan can be found here on AD Curato Street? For 65 years, the Butuan City Rural Bank has remained open ever since it was first financed by native Butuanons.
And speaking of really old things, the street is also home to one of the recognized oldest trees in the region. A lambog tree that is over 100 years old stands in the property of the Montilla family.
Ining lambog, gitanom ini sadtong 1903. So, sa karon na panahon, 121 years old na siya. Since sa una sa mga parents pa nila, gaistoryahon na nila sa ila na ang lambog tree, wa pa kamo, yaon na iyan. Then, na kuan sa history sa akong uncle, na sumuto na prove na centennial tree siya. Akong lolo sa itong una, farmer siya, mahiligid siya magatanom. Tapos, miibogid siya sa ning prutas kay perti baka mayumo. Amura ini siya hong makupa, pero malahi, maitom ang unod. Tapos, madyaw isab ini hinangon nga wine o candy. Ang bark aning lambog, kung imo siyang ipapakuluan sa tubig, pwede siya imnon para mawala ang sakit sa tiyan. Mo nang isa nga purpose na pigatanom ini hong lolo ko tungod sa ni ang bark niya na naibinipisyo sa atong panglawas. Actually, kini siya nga lambog, miagi ni siya og duha ka sunog. First, World War II. Then second, last mga 1976. Then ni-survive gyapon siya tungod with the care of our family. Then ang roots pud niya misprout na along. So, mo nang mi-survive gid siya. Si Congressman Banaag, siya ang nag-recognize yun as a speaker. Nya, kuan pa to si Juboy Aquino adto, councilor. Then Lawrence Fortun ug naay mga donors. Ang among mga neighbors, makakita sila og dako nga tao nga itom na naa diri sa taas. Pero kami diri sa gasulod, dili may makakita. Hatag ni sa amo og swerte kay ang among pamilya buo. Walay broken family. Then gahatag pud siya og kaugmaon sa mga kaapuhan ni Hermenegildo Villanoy Bacalo. Mo nang isa na naghatag og laki sa amo.
Wow! So old age isn't the only thing that extraordinary about that tree. But I would like to have its endurance. And I wonder if its berries taste as good as Mr. Bobby Montilla said. Maybe I should visit them when it starts bearing fruits. But definitely not at night. I don't want to risk seeing the dark spirit of the Lambog.
After my long walk on AD Curato Street, I realized that it's actually the perfect street that preserves the ancient traditions of the past while constantly changing towards the future. It's one of the busiest streets in Butuan, yet also one of the most historical streets in the whole of the city. And that's absolutely amazing. And to end the episode properly, the AD in AD Curato is actually Apolonio Dagani. And now you know.